It is Friday night. It is January, and that means it is time for high school basketball. Good evening from the Terraceum at Mountlake Terrace High School. Wesco 3A/2A basketball tonight. Edmonds School District rivals playing in the 100th matchup of all time against these two teams. The Mountlake Terrace Hawks, the home team, coming into this game with a record of 4 wins and 1 loss, 11-1 overall, taking on their crosstown rivals, the Meadowdale Mavericks, 2-2 in league play, 6-6 overall. Big game tonight, conference game, a place in the standings on the line. Meadowdale certainly needing some victories if they're going to move on up and try to solidify their spot in terms of playing in a district playoff game later on this season. Mountlake Terrace looking to increase their RPI ranking. I'm going to go ahead and keep quiet right now because Vince DeMiro, the PA announcer, is announcing our starting lineups.
He stands 6 foot and is a senior, wearing number 3, Will Schaefer. Wearing number 10, Colton Walsh. For the Hawks, a 5'10" senior guard, wearing number 20, Keegan Grayson. For Meadowdale, a 5'11" senior guard, wearing number 12, Drew Harvey. For Mountlake Terrace, a 6'4" senior forward, wearing number 22, Kyrie Armstead. For the Mavericks, a 6'4" senior forward, wearing number 34, Justin Chambers. For the Hawks, a 6'3" junior forward, wearing number 30, Mason Peterson. Finally, for the Mavs, a 6'5" senior center, wearing number 44, Okioma Agoro. And finally, for the Hawks, 6'4" senior forward, wearing number 32, Brendan Hayes. The head coach for Meadowdale is Roger O'Neill. The head coach for the Hawks, Nayland Sood. He is assisted by Al Shannon, Greg Wertz, Johnny Phillips, Tim Cashman, and Anthony Asbury. The Hawks trainer, Sabora Dean. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand and join me for our Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And one quick reminder, tonight's game is a regular school function. Use of alcoholic beverages or tobacco products in the Terrace campus is prohibited by Washington State law. Welcome.
All right, we are just about ready for basketball right now. We're going to go through the starting lineups one more time, as just announced by Vince DeMiro. For the Mountlake Terrace Hawks, number 10, a 5'9" sophomore, Mason Christensen. Number 20, a 5'10" senior, Keegan Grayson Zarun. Number 22, averaging 20 points per game, a 6'4" senior, Kyrie Armstead. Number 30, a 6'3" junior, Mason Peterson. And rounding out the starting lineup, a 6'4" senior, number 32, Brendan Hayes. For Meadowdale, who will be playing this game tonight without their leading scorer, Dan Barhoum, here is your starting lineup. At number 3, a 6' senior, Will Schaefer. Number 10 is a 6'2" sophomore, Colton Walsh. Number 12 is a 5'11" senior, Drew Harvey. Number 34 is a 6'4" senior, Justin Chambers. And rounding out the starting lineup, the 6'5" senior, number 44, Okioma Okura. Tip-off is up in the air. The game is underway. Mountlake Terrace controlling the opening tip. Ball in the corner. Mason Peterson, long three ball, misses it entirely. Christensen gets the rebound, goes up and misses it as well. Meadowdale with their first possession on the other end. Immediately Schaefer looking for Walsh down low. Throws it off the backboard, misses it. Mason Peterson looking to push ahead. Hawks in transition. One Mason to another. Peterson to Christensen, back to Peterson. Misses the shot. Brendan Hayes able to come up with a rebound from 15 out. The Hawks still looking for their first points. Kyrie Armstead doing a nice job of saving the ball on one end, and then Keegan Grayson-Zerone behind the back, saving it on the other. 40 seconds into the game. A lot of excitement so far, and yet no points to show for it for either team, as Mountlake Terrace is going to go ahead and reset right now. There's Kyrie Armstead, a little hook shot, a baby hook, 8 feet out. Gets it to fall, and the Hawks are on the board. 2-0 score with just a little under a minute gone in the game thus far. Meadowdale on the other end. Will Schaefer picks up the dribble, kicks it out to the sophomore, Walsh, out on the left wing. Walsh looking to drive, pulls up along the baseline, double teamed. Armstead gets a hand in there, bats it down. He gets it ahead to Chambers. No, that's Okora. He's going to put it in. Double O, as we're going to call him, with the initials tonight. He gets his first bucket of the night, and it is now 2-2. Again, big Wesco game. A few different storylines which we'll cover throughout the night, one of which Dan Barhoum, averaging nearly 13 points per game for Meadowdale, not suited up with an upper body injury. He's sitting on the bench in street clothes. See if the Hawks can take advantage of that. Another storyline, this is the 100th matchup ever for these two teams. Meadowdale with the very slightest of edges, 50-49 overall. We'll get to some of those stats later on too. Roger O'Neill, the head coach for Meadowdale, doing a fantastic job of getting a lot of those stats. Is a nice pull up there. Brendan Hayes along the right side floats one in from 16 feet. His first points of the night makes it 4-2. And Roger O'Neill, who is a historian of the game, if you will, putting together a nice composite of different stats from Meadowdale basketball, and many of which involve the Mountlake Terrace Meadowdale rivalry. Nice job by Harvey to get into the lane, misses it. Peterson going on the other end, kicks it out to Christensen. Open three, he gets it. Mason Peterson to Mason Christensen. The Masons doing masonry work, getting the three. Nice job by Christensen. Bats the ball away initially from Schaefer. Schaefer picks it up before Christensen can dive towards it. There's a shot by Chambers. Nothing but the bottom of the net. Chambers with his first bucket makes it 7-4. Unless did they give him a three on that? They're putting up a 5 on the board. I thought it was a long 2. We'll see. Hayes misses the shot inside the lane. It was, in fact, a 3. Okay, so Chambers made a 3 on that last shot there. Walsh on the other end floats into the lane, misses the shot, but draws contact. And 2 minutes and 43 seconds into this game, we have our first foul of the night. And this foul will send, no, they're going to say it was a non-shooting foul. So Mason Peterson picking up the foul on Walsh. And Ben Iman, I think we turned you on there. We're going to get you on in just a moment here as Meadowdale with the ball. Shot goes up, Kyrie Armstead picking up the rebound. Armstead right lane, floats up a long shot off the back iron. Walsh grabs the rebound, gets it to his point guard Schaefer, being guarded very closely by Christensen. Schaefer going to the left side. Nice job by the sophomore on defense. The senior, though, taking advantage of the situation. Christensen almost tipped that ball. I think it was Peterson, rather. Almost tipped that ball back up into his own hoop. Fortunately for the Hawks, that was not the case. They're able to grab a rebound. Kyrie Armstead from 3 off the front iron. Chambers with the basketball up on top, being guarded by Hayes. Spin move, nice job by Keegan Grayson-Zerone. Got his back of the hand on the basketball, knocked it away, pulls it over to Hayes for the 3, and he hits it! Brandon Hayes, 5 points here in the first quarter, and that is what the lead stands at right now. 10-5 score. Mountlake Terrace with 4:10 to go here in the first quarter. See if Meadowdale can respond here. Wearing the dark blue road jerseys. Colton Walsh doing a nice job getting into the lane. Nice little spin move, uses the glass wisely. And the sophomore has his first 2 points of the night. Making it a 10-7 game right now. Grayson's a run. As Meadowdale falling into a 2-3 zone. Hawks looking to find something here, being patient. Armstead gets it down low to Hayes. Fadeaway jumper, misses it. Rebound by Justin Chambers. Chambers into the lane, pulls up, takes his dribble, kicks it back out. Drew Harvey driving into the lane, floater off the backboard a little bit too hard. We got a couple of players tied up underneath the hoop, Will Schaefer and Mason Christensen, rather, and they're going to get Christensen with the foul. Did we get our technology figured out? Ben, are you on the air? I think we hear Ben Iman. Ben Iman, how are you tonight? Very good. The junior student, Ben Iman, who's doing double duty tonight. He's going to be helping us on our broadcast. And Ben, when you're not at the table here, what are you going to be up to? Or maybe we'll wait till the end of the quarter as we get the basketball game going along here. As Double O jumps up, we get some contact here. And they are, in fact, going to call Okiomo Okoro with his first foul, the big man down in the key. 3:18 to go. 3:15 left, first quarter. 10-7 is our score. Mountlake Terrace slowing it down on the offensive side of things right now, putting forth their half-court offense. Peterson looking to get it into Armstead, kicks it out very quickly to Christensen. Three-pointer rims in and out. Nice little flush job. Hayes does a nice job of grabbing the rebound, gets it back out to Armstead. They're going to reset the offense here. And there we go. Keegan Grayson's run. I hope we're still on the air. I can no longer hear myself here as we're fiddling with the board server. Keegan Grayson's run with the three ball, making it 13-7. We apologize for the technical difficulty that's going on here. Kick out to Peterson. Peterson for three. Open look. Off the back iron. Walsh with yet another rebound. Nice job by Armstead. Sneaks up behind him and bats it away. The referee, however, that is Manuel Fernandez, felt like he got contact in the process, and the Hawks are going to be called for their third foul of the night, the first one on Armstead. And we get our first substitution of the night as well, as Connor Williams, number 12, will be checking in for the Hawks, taking the place of the sophomore Mason Christensen, who had a nice start to the game. Williams, a 5'9" senior, having a nice season in his own right, averaging close to 10 points per game thus far, coming off the bench. Will Schaefer with the dribble. 13-7 is our score. The Hawks up by 6. And for Meadowdale, Mustafa Sonko, he's getting his first action of the season tonight. He's been out with a leg injury, a guy who they were hoping to rely on heavily this year, and it just hasn't happened yet. So he is getting his first action of the year, just checking in a few moments ago. And he's now going to go to the line as he was fouled by number 32, Hayes. Hayes is first. Sonko not quite on the board for the season thus far as he misses the first free throw. 2:09 to go here, first quarter. Sonko connects, 13-8 score. Ben, are you on the air yet?
I think I am.
Hey, I can hear you.
They have me. Yeah, they have me. All right.
Loud and clear. There we go. We'll talk to Ben here in just a moment. Peterson in the corner. Three. He hits it. Mason Peterson. Have it. Trey will follow. We know he can hit those out there, and he gives the Hawks their biggest lead of the night, 16-8 rather. Peterson averaging 39% on his three-pointers for the year. I think he just increased that average a little more with that shot. Williams says, if you can do it, so can I. Another three ball, misses it. Hayes with the rebound. Back out to Peterson, thought about the shot, gets it to Armstead. Brendan Hayes. Ball bounces off the rim and over the hoop, out of bounds. So with 1:30 to go in the first quarter, Meadowdale will take the possession and the 8-point lead. And checking in for the first time tonight for Meadowdale, number 5, the 6'5" junior, Nick Buckley. Once again, Connor Williams on defense, guarding Schaefer. Getting into the later part of the quarter. And let's see if they're going to call. They're going to call that on Hayes. That was close as Mustafa Sonko using a little arm there, extended it out on Hayes. They're going to say Hayes initiated the contact, and Brendan Hayes in the process will pick up his second foul in the game. The 5th one on Mountlake Terrace already, to only 1 against Meadowdale, so that becomes a factor now as we start to go towards the second quarter of play, and certainly don't want to put Meadowdale at the free throw line the entire second quarter either. Ben Iman, you're a busy guy tonight.
Yeah,
you weren't at the table for the last few minutes. Where have you been? You're doing double duty tonight, correct?
Well, I've also been doing double duty as a part of the Mountlake Terrace pep band, helping direct and guide them. And turns out some of the other people that help also direct and guide couldn't be here tonight, and so I was just figuring, I can probably make it work. So
you're not just playing in the band tonight.
No,
you're directing the band tonight.
I am one of a few people directing the band.
You are, okay.
Ethan Pike and Henry Smith Hunt, Harper Thomas, and Zoe Prescio. Those are the main core group here that helps out. Got some other underclassmen that are super excited about it. So yeah, everything's on the rise over there.
Max Hull with his first action of the night. He just drew a foul, rather, the 6'3" senior. Buckley's going to get his first foul on Meadowdale. Only the second team foul against the Mavs. Is this where I can make my plea right now? Because I'm just going to say it out loud. As Armstead goes up with a shot, it bounces around. Couldn't quite fall through. Zarun trying to save it. Can't do it. It's going to be Meadowdale basketball with 1 minute left. I have such a pet peeve, Ben, with the fact that band isn't here more often. Love it when they're in this building. Love it when they're in any building, for that matter. It just adds so much to the ambiance of a high school experience and to a basketball game. Can we get these guys more often? Who do I need to talk to? Is it Fel?
Well, Fall's definitely part of it. But he's actually he's entrusting us that we can come and lead the band, and we're trying to come to more games. There's a lot of members and a lot of students in the band program, and we usually get a good turnout. I think 30 to 40 people. I think we're pretty proud of. And we're getting better and better every year. So I'm super excited. Yeah, the plan is we're in the works that if, knock on wood, this Terrace team continues their run and makes it deep into the state playoffs, to head down there with them.
Nice.
So
might be going to Yakima.
Yep, we're talking about all the logistics and getting it ready, because that's definitely something we've talked about.
Mason Christensen with a 3. His second here in the first quarter. The Hawks extending their lead to 19-8, the largest of the night. And if they keep shooting like that, Ben Iman, you might be going to Yakima with this team.
This team looks really good this year. An 11-1 record, and we've seen the one game that they have lost against a tough Shorecrest team. This team looks really special, and we'd be honored to travel with them. They got our backs, and we love having theirs. So
2-second shot clock differential between the shot clock and the game clock. We're down to 5 on the shot clock right now. Yeah, it's not going to be an easy road for Terrace, and we'll talk about that here in a moment, too. Chambers with a 3, misses it. Armstead looks at the clock, fires it up from three-quarter court. Hard off the backboard. It will not go in, and we've come to the end of the first quarter. We're going to keep it right here because we want to talk about this a little bit more right now, and we did ourselves a nice little segue there. Mountlake Terrace Hawks currently ranked number 4 in the state according to the AP poll. 4 teams are going to come out of District 1 in the 2A. Anacortes is also ranked. They're ranked number 1. Linden is ranked up there. Liberty out of Renton is also in that same district, so they're in there as well. There's 4 teams right there that all think that their ticket is punched, and I can tell you right now there are other teams playing in this area and in this region who think that they have a good chance too. So it will not be easy, but certainly when you're 11-1, playing in Wesco 3A basketball, to keep up what you're doing right now, you might be on your way to 12-1 tonight. I've got to think that the Hawks are feeling pretty good about their chances these days.
Yeah, no, I think we definitely got to be. I remember there was a lot of talk last year when we moved down to 2A from 3A, and I really think it's really helped this team out because we can compete. We can compete at a high level against 3A and 4A schools, but it definitely gives us an opportunity to compete against the teams more at our player pool and not necessarily at our skill level. Although they're all great teams, don't get me wrong. But I think this team, they come out and they compete every night, and regardless of who they're playing, if they're playing someone who's 0-12, or if they're playing someone who's 12-1, they're going to give you the same game.
Hey, by the way, I mentioned this real briefly during the first quarter, and we'll do this throughout the night. Roger O'Neill from Meadowdale put together a handful of stats, fun stats for this 100th game ever between these two teams, as we're going to get a foul called against Terrace, the 7th one, which is going to put Meadowdale into the bonus. And this is called on Connor Williams, who's picked up his second. Mason Harvey, the twin brother of Drew Harvey, who wears the number 12, who started earlier. Mason wears the number 1. He's in the game right now, and he's going to head to the line. Is also checking in Haben Teckel, number 32. Teckel is a 6'2" junior guard, standing back at center court right now. Some of these stats are awesome. I'm kind of a geek for these sorts of things. As Mason misses the front end of the 1-and-1 free throw. And again, we'll read these to you throughout the night here a little bit. Wait till we have a little break in the action here in a moment. Christensen on the right wing, kicks it on over to Armstead. Armstead, nice little spin move, floats one up. Armstead struggling to find the basket tonight. He only has 2 points. We mentioned earlier he averages 20 on the season. Here comes Sonko floating into the lane. A rimmer goes around a couple of times. Finally floats to the bottom. He now has his first field goal of the 2017-2018 season. giving him 3 points on the night, making it 19-10.
Yeah, that was nice defense, though.
Peterson thought he got fouled there. Sonko jumped in there. Might have got all basketball. We're not sure. Doesn't matter now.
Wanted to say that was nice defense by Max Hole. Kept his hands up. Not much you can do, though. On
3 ball on the other end. That was number 32, Tekel, with a shot. Armstead picking up the dribble. Kicks it over to Peterson. This time they're going to say, yes, Sonko, you did draw contact. Sonko's going to send. Oh, they're going to say it is for 3. I wasn't sure at first there. They're going to say Sonko, in fact, fouled Peterson in the act of shooting a 3-pointer. So Mason Peterson, who had 3 points in the first half, steps to the free throw line. Peterson only has 3 free throw attempts on the season. That's hard to believe.
He's a guy that likes shooting from beyond the arc, but he's a great guard. But yeah, no, that's quite surprising.
He's going to double his 3-point or his free throw attempts in this one possession right here. He makes the first one. He's only missed 1 all season thus far. 20-10 is our score. Make it 21-10. Nice form for the outside shooter.
I think 4 for 5 is a good percentage.
Yeah, not bad. Well, let's see if he can go 5 for 6, even better, right?
Yeah.
There we go.
5 for 6.
It's all 3. Mason Peterson, the 83% range now. Nice job. Also giving the Hawks their largest lead once again, 22-10 in the second quarter here. It's number 15, Tommy Dimmick, who's in for the first time. They're going to say Dimmick traveled on the play. Dimmick, a pretty good athlete in his own right. We've seen him put together a nice baseball career while at Meadowdale thus far, and he can play a little basketball as well. 6'1" senior.
I want to give a little shout out, Steve, to the Rowdy Rooters tonight. They got a good group of guys out here tonight.
The Teletubbies in the house too. Who's in the Teletubby costume?
That is
Ooh, backdoor almost works as that pass goes off of Connor Williams. Let's know who are we looking at over there.
That is Chase Alberts in the Teletubby.
And who else? We got Corey Takeo over
Corey
there.
Takeo.
Per usual. Who else is in that front row there?
Connor Yackley.
Okay, Yackley's over there. We got a nice little crew. Yeah, we've seen games this year where you can count them all in one hand. Nice floater there. Mason Harvey getting the
Bulgarian
bucket.
bulldozer. Bobby Stoyanov's over there.
Who's not going to be playing for the school team this year, I understand. That's a little disappointing. As he's going to be playing for his academy soccer team. D1 soccer player in the making is yet to commit. And we'll hopefully get that announcement at some point later on this season.
We will follow it semi-closely.
Hawkeye will have something, I'm sure. Jace Brakefield, the freshman. Oh, that was Max Hall, rather. You don't want to give the freshman a basket that the senior has. That's Max Hall, number 42. Sorry, Jace, got a little ahead of myself there. He's going to be making plenty of baskets here in the next few years.
Max was the guy that started off the season actually injured, so it's good to see him on the floor.
Nice job for Hall to get in there and get his first bucket of the night. 24-12 is our score. Chambers spinning, picking up his dribble, kicks it over to Mason Harvey. Long 3, it's a little bit short, bounces off the front iron. Mason Christensen grabs it, he's got numbers, he pulls ahead from 10 feet out, hits the back of the iron, scramble for the ball, and Nick Buckley finally coming away with it for Meadowdale. Justin Chambers, we know he can hit that 3. He misses this one, however. Hit a winning 3 against Marysville Pilchuck last year, late in a game over at the stable at Meadowdale.
I like.
Ooh, beautiful no-look pass.
That was a
Mason
nice play.
Harvey had Nick Buckley underneath the basket, kicks it on over to him, no look, and we've got a 24-14 game.
Defense into offense. The steal off of Mason Christensen's pass. The beautiful no-look pass on the other end goes for 2 for Meadowdale.
Meadowdale needs a few more of those to keep their hopes of winning this game alive. And if you're just tuning in, no Dan Barhoom tonight. Meadowdale star player out with an injury. 3 ball up. Wow, Connor Williams misses that high off the glass. I'm not sure you could even do that again if you tried. Hear a lot of yelling going on, screaming. Mason Harvey with the basketball up on top. Crossover, spin move. Ball is taken away as Connor Williams grabs the loose ball. Behind the back, kicks it on over to Hall. Hall misses it. Not sure what Armstead was thinking there. He wasn't sure what was going on, if that was a pass or a shot.
Do we count that as a block?
I think we're going to count it as just a loose ball that got away as that one goes out of bounds. As we're going to get a couple more players, or more than a couple now, checking back in. Keegan Grayson's checking back in for the Hawks. Meadowdale, meanwhile, is going to bring number 14 or number 44 back. That's Okioma Okura, and they're also going to check Will McKinley in for the first time tonight, the 6'2" sophomore. Hey, looking at some of these stats too. These are fun. Again, 99 games between these two teams. Meadowdale with the 50-49 edge, could be tied up tonight if you're going by what's on the scoreboard right now. Mountlake Terrace has the all-time points lead, even though they're behind in games one. For what that's worth, as the Peterson pass goes out of bounds. 5,394 points coming into the night versus 5,199. So Mountlake Terrace, over the course of 40-something years, whenever Meadowdale opened up, I think it was in the late 60s. Sounds about right. Meadowdale opened in, look to Vince DeMiro, who might know that because of his age, late 60s. So Mountlake Terrace averages 54.5 points per game over the course of the series history. Meadowdale 52.5, so it's close.
You know, I love stats like this.
He's got them broken down by decades, too. Let's look at that in a moment here. Meadowdale with the 7-6 lead in the 60s. They also had the lead in the 70s and 80s, 12-8 and also 13-7, which surprises me. Armstead thought about the dunk, and it would have happened had Meadowdale not stepped in and mingled with his attempt, and that's going to be a foul. 2 free throws coming up for Armstead.
And the Meadowdale student section behind us is not happy about that one.
Okiyama Okura with his second foul. Fans are chanting, "You got swatted." I don't think that's a swat when you go to the free throw line.
I don't know if you can count a swat when you get all arm.
You got free throws is what they should be chanting. He got the first one. If he misses both, then you got a little something to talk about. But he hits both of them. 4 points on the night for Armstead. Getting back to this real quick, too. Meadowdale had the 12-8 advantage in the 70s, 13-7 in the 80s. Terrace with the 9-4 advantage in the 90s. Keep in mind there were times during the decade when these two teams weren't in the same conference because of different size classifications and whatnot. Schaefer into the lane, kicks it out. Chambers with the 3. Off the back iron, Schaefer very wisely hustling on over into the key to grab the rebound. Mason Harvey got a little trap there along the baseline, tried to make something happen, kicked it right into the hands of Keegan Grayson Zarun. Hawks now down on the other, and then the Hawks with a 10-5 advantage, or it was 9-9 in the 2000s, and then in the 2010s, it's Mountlake Terrace 10-5, soon to be 11-5. If this keeps happening, this Max Hall to the back door. He gets the bucket, 4 points on the night, makes it 28-14. So this is a fun sheet here. This is a
I mean, I wish we had these kind of stats for all sorts of games. They're gonna get the charge.
Whoa! Double O gonna get called for the offensive foul. That should be his third.
Kyrie just set his foot.
Third personal of
Okura with 3 of the 5 Meadowdale fouls here in the first half as one Harvey brother checks out for another. Drew coming in for Mason.
I do gotta say, this game's been moving pretty quick. No timeouts either side, and we're quickly rolling through the first half.
No timeouts yet. Relatively, I shouldn't say foul-free, but we've only had 12s thus far, and not a ton of free throws, which always helps to keep the game moving along. Christensen almost had that one turned over. Schaefer almost sneaking up behind. We get a 3-ball in the corner. Peterson misses the shot. Everybody going up for it. We're going to get a foul called in the key. Let's see who they're going to get that on. It's either going to be Walsh or Schaefer, apparently. They're going to say it was on number 10, Colton Walsh, his first. 6th team foul against Meadowdale, so the next one will put Terrace into the bonus with 2:27 left in the half. 28-14 is our score. Grayson Zarun finding Kyrie Armstead. Armstead finding baskets hard to come by tonight. Only 1 field goal. Very uncharacteristic of him. You know what? He'll gladly take a win, though. They're up by 14 right now. Schaefer resetting the offense. Colton Walsh going to drive into the lane. Double teamed, goes up, draws contact, and the sophomore will head to the line for 2 free throws. Our officials tonight, we already mentioned Manuel Fernandez, who just came over and relayed that foul to the bench. Also Doug Miller and Ron Thornley out on the court tonight. Foul was called on Armstead, his second. Walsh hits the first free throw. Meadowdale right now 2 for 4 on the night at the line. Mountlake Terrace 5 for 5.
And as you were saying, you know, Kyrie struggling to find baskets tonight. He's averaging 20 points a game. It's definitely interesting to not see him not find the basket. He's managed. This Terrace Hawks team has managed before. It's not just him. This is a very well-rounded team, but it's always kind of a little bit different when Kyrie's not necessarily finding the baskets like normal.
And, you know, he's one of those players, even when he's not finding the hoop on any given night, he's still getting it done elsewhere. He's playing great defense. consummate team player, making the passes, helping the guys get into place.
That is true. Kyrie is a complete player.
He certainly has contributed to this 13-point lead thus far. Do not kid yourselves when you look at his score total, that's for sure. Down to 4 seconds on the shot clock. Christensen needs to do something with it. Tries to find hole down low. It gets picked off by Sonko. Sonko looking to push forward. Baseline to baseline, lays it up and in.
It's a nice play.
Tofa with 5 points here on the night. 28-17 is our score. We're going to get a whistle here with 1:17 to go. And this is going to put Terrace at the line shooting 1-1. Let's see who they call the foul on. Gonna get Drew Harvey with his first foul of the game. That will send Keegan Grayson's a run to the line, shooting 1-1. A Cole Yell checking into the game for the first time tonight for the Hawks. 6'5" senior. Grayson's a run. You can tell he's a point guard. He's directing guys and telling them where to go even when he's at the free throw line. Hits the first shot. Giving him 4 points for the night. His first three coming on a tray back in the first quarter.
Spaghetti and meatballs, Steve.
So they were yelling back there?
Yeah. Clearly didn't phase Keegan.
Not one bit. He must like that particular combination. Hawks not being phased by too much of anything right now, up by 13 as Will Schaefer kicks it over to Chambers. Another open look three, this time nothing but the bottom of the net. Justin Chambers with 2 trays on the game now. 6 points for the night, making it 30-20 as we're now down under a minute to go here in the first half from the Terraceum. It's coaches versus cancer night here. Money being raised for the American Cancer Society. You see with the coaches wearing their shirts tonight. Hawks now down to 12 seconds to go on the shot clock. Christensen with the three, a flat shot. Hits off the rim, bounces off the backboard after that, and Colton Walsh there to pick it up.
Yeah, I just feel like this Terrace shooting has kind of started to cool off a little bit more in the second half. Meadowdale could use this opportunity to close the gap.
And they can close up the half right here. The shot clock is off with 17 to go. Meadowdale could get this down to a single-digit deficit
And
by
it
the
looks
end of the
like
half.
that's what they're going to go for.
Schaefer setting it up. We're down to 9 seconds to go. Christensen on him. Hawks do have 8 fouls against them so far, so they could put him at the line. Nice job by Mason, and they're going to say he batted it off of Schaefer. 4.2 seconds left, and the Hawks are going to take over.
That's good defense, you know. Good transition from a Cole to pick up.
Let's see what Mountlake Terrace can do. Again, 4.2. Grayson attacking in 1 second, puts it up. Shot is off the mark, and we've come to the end of the first half. Mountlake Terrace with the 30-20 lead. I'm guessing you've got band duties here at halftime, correct? Are you going to?
Yeah, I can stay a second.
Okay, I'm not sure if we'll keep it here for a moment. So, first half thoughts.
Terrace came out pretty hot. You know, it's been a back and forth game, pretty quick. Not a ton of, you know, not a lot of stopping. But their shooting's kind of started to cool off there a little bit towards the end of the half. Meadowdale could really capitalize, but this is definitely going to go back and forth all night. Fun matchup. I mean, both student sections getting into it. Definitely fun to see these two teams play.
Good crowd tonight again. Meadowdale playing without Daniel Barhome. Huge factor for them. He's kind of their X factor. He's their go-to guy. You've got to think that that's affecting their team this evening. I hope he's not out for very long. Dan's certainly a good guy we've gotten to know over the last few years, so we'll definitely keep an eye on that. But so far, the addition of Sonko coming back, slowly getting his feet wet. They kept him out for the first few minutes. He's come in and gotten 5 points for Meadowdale off the bench. Justin Chambers with 6 points as their leading scorer. For Mountlake Terrace, it's well distributed right now. Mason Christensen with a couple of threes. He has 6. We've got Brendan Hayes with 5 points. Mason Peterson with 6, one of which was a 3-point make. The other one was a 3-point miss, sending him to the foul line for 3. Keegan Grayson's run 5, and then we've got Kyrie Armstead with 4. So a lot of guys getting on the board thus far, and that makes a 30-20 game. So at this point, I think we're going to take a break. I've got a few things I need to do. I think we might have a coaches versus cancer moment here in a moment, and you're probably going to go check out the band. So we'll be back in a few minutes with more second half action, right, Ben?
Sounds good.
Sounds good. So once again, the halftime score, Mountlake Terrace 30, Meadowdale 20. You are watching HBN, the Hawks Broadcast Network. And welcome back once again to the Terraceum in Mountlake Terrace. Second half of action just about underway. Mountlake Terrace with a 30-20 lead. We've already given you some point totals for the first half. Just talked to some of our statisticians up in the crowd. Rebounding numbers so far, 16-13. The Hawks with the edge. Kyrie Armstead leading the Hawks with 6 rebounds. Will Schaefer with 4 rebounds leads Meadowdale. And we are back underway here at the Terraceum. The Hawks with the basketball to start the second half. Mason Christensen going left to right, getting the ball over to Hayes. Hayes with a nice floater, connects. Brendan Hayes with 7 points now here on the night. Hawks back out on top, 32-20, wasting very little time. Drew Harvey gets the ball knocked away by Hayes, getting it done on both sides of the court, kicking it ahead to Grayson Zarun, drives into the lane, kicks it out to Peterson, open three, he hits it! Mason Peterson, second tray of the night, 9 points on the game. Hawks coming out hot here with a 5-0 run, giving them a 15-point lead. And we're going to get a foul called away from the play. Let's see who they're going to call that on. Armstead picking up his third foul, the first of the half for either team. Ben Iman, you are back, sir. Doing great. Are we on? I see mute buttons all over the place. He got thumbs up are always good, right? Ben Iman, the band sounding fabulous at halftime. Fabulous, wonderful, whatever you. Whoa. Mason Christensen picking up the foul. Now we're finding out you are or you aren't on the air.
Now am I on?
There we go. I knew we'd get you eventually.
Hello.
Well, we're going to talk about that band here. We'll wait till the next dead ball here as Walsh kicks it out. Chambers for 3. Everybody going up for that one. Finally, Colton Walsh getting the ricochet. And there a pass across the court. Christensen picks it off. Slows it down briefly. Kicks it over to Hayes as the Hawks, the rest of the Hawks, I should say, catching up and getting back down on the other side of the court. Now we're looking at a 5-on-5 here. Half-court offense. Grayson Zarun kicking it out. Open Hayes. Open shot. Nothing but the bottom of the net. Brendan Hayes with 5 of his 10 points here in the second half. Meadowdale says we need a timeout. Terrace with their biggest lead of the night, 38-20. Let's keep it here because we got Ben Iman in the house, and I want to hear more about that band.
Yeah, no, I got a major shout out tonight to senior trombonist Ethan Pike and junior trombonist Henry Smith Hunt. They're really leading the line there with a lot of marching band music is very brass heavy. We got 2 trombones in the building, and it's the 2 of them, and they're really pushing it. 3 sousaphones, which are the big tuba-like radar dishes. Those are really nice, because those are the backbone to your band. But yeah, no, this has just been we've been working on stuff, and we put more time into it this year, and I think it's paying off.
Little Seven Nation Army.
Yeah, of course.
Very nice. What other song? Do you have a favorite song that you guys play?
It's hard to pick out of so many because there's about 120 songs in our book that we can pull out.
You guys have
moment.
that many? Wow.
Yeah. But there's definitely a lot of them. I mean, you got to love the fight song. There's nothing better.
Can't beat that.
Can't beat that.
Hail to the Hawks so valiant. Right up there on the wall. How many people are in the band, by the way? About approximately?
About 150 to 180 students here at the
And on
school.
any given night, how many are playing up in the stands when you guys are
Maybe 35 to 50, somewhere in there.
Is that because of the number restrictions with the bleachers, or is it just because certain instruments don't play as well as
everyone's invited, but we've one of the things that I've always pushed for is that the marching band and the pep band should not be mandatory, because one of the values is we'd rather have 50 kids out of 180 that are there and wanting to be there.
Woo! Mason Peterson, he wants to be here.
I got to give a shout out to Keegan Grayson, who called that one maybe a good 5 seconds before it even hit the rim.
The thing I liked about that basket for the Hawks too, 3 different passes, 4 different players touched the ball on that drive. Peterson just happened to be the last one, and he put up a beautiful shot. The Hawks out to an 11-0 start here in the second half. We're a minute 56 in, and already they've doubled up their lead and then some. And they've doubled up the Meadowdale Mavericks in the process.
Yeah, so
And there we go. As soon as we say that, Will Schaefer getting his first points of the night. Senior guard getting on the board. He now has 2. That pass is going to sail away. They're going to say Meadowdale basketball.
Yeah, so we've always strived for. We'd rather have a smaller amount of people there, but a bunch of people that want to come to these, rather than have this massive band that's 180 kids can be sometimes hard to control, especially if basketball or football isn't necessarily one of their favorite things in the world. But, we've getting more and more turnout every night, and, I appreciate everyone that comes, and everyone's welcome. No one's turned away, but, I'm happy with the turnout of 35 to 50, and, I mean,
Brendan Hayes missing the shot here. That was Okuro on the other end by making the basket. Nice assist by Chambers. Go ahead with
we're just sounding better and better every night.
You guys sound outstanding, and we're going to get a double dribble there. Hawks basketball. And, yeah, always fun to hear. 150 people playing Seven Nation Army in the Terraceum. I can only imagine.
Yeah.
We'll take the 30 or 40, though. So great job. You guys are doing outstanding. And, again, I commend you doing double duty tonight, keeping busy with the broadcast side of things, and not only on the air but off the air, doing what you're doing with the band and everything else. A heck of a night for you. Nice job. Heck of a night for the Hawks, I should say, too, as I just jinxed him in the process as Hayes is going to pick up a foul. No, they're actually going to call Armstead for that one. Kyrie's got 4 fouls right now. That's something that the Hawks, I know they're happy with a 17-point lead, but when the guy that averages 20 a game has 4 fouls and you still have 5 minutes to go in the third quarter, that's not an ideal situation for them.
That's definitely not ideal, but I mean, Kyrie's a smart player. He's not going to do anything dumb that could possibly get him, fouled out of this game.
Okura couldn't get that one. We're going to get Hayes, and he's blocked on the other end by Walls. Foul is going to be called, though. They're going to send him to the free throw line. Walsh with his second foul. He got up there on that one. And the question becomes, how long do you keep Kyrie, and do you send him to the bench for a while here in the third?
Yeah, that's an interesting one because he's definitely an influential player. That's an unusual miss from Brendan Hayes at the line.
It was a bad miss, too. Barely caught the rim.
He's definitely an influential player. He looks like he is going to come to the bench here, but, this Hawks team, they're all great players. And, if one guy's having an off night, that doesn't mean, the rest of the team's not going to pick him up later on.
Hayes came into the game shooting 10 for 12 from the free throw line this year, so make him 11 for 14 now as Hobbin Teckle checking back into the game. Okuro with his 3 fouls will take a seat on the bench, giving them a little more quickness out there on the floor. 42-24 score. Dan Barhoum already out for Meadowdale with an injury tonight. Talked to him at halftime. He seems to be in good spirits, but he's on the mend, and Kyrie Armstead might be out here shortly too. Schaefer had the look he wanted, just couldn't get it to fall. Hawks down on the other end. They're looking to rush things. Nice pass. Max Hole, underhanded pass to Hayes. Hayes floats one up. I'd like to have that one back. They should have probably had 2 on that play, but couldn't get it to fall. Nice passing by Mountlake Terrace, though, on that drive. And we're going to get a little push here. No, they're going to say he stepped out on his own. Hobbin Teckle looking to go baseline and just started straddling that line until the foot caught part of it, and it's going to be Terrace basketball.
Some of these calls are tough. Was it a push? Was it just a step out of bounds? So, I feel like they've been leaning more towards the defense in this game tonight, but definitely interesting to watch.
Keegan Grayson's a run back to Hayes. Hayes faking Chambers out initially, picks up the dribble and dishes it back to Peterson. Hawks looking to slow it down. No need to rush if they don't have the right player. We got an 18-point lead, and we can save that one from going back. Hayes doing a wonderful job there of getting into Grayson's run. Sonko steps up, bats it out of bounds. He thought he hit it off of Hole. The referees didn't see it that way, and Hawks with 9 seconds left on the shot clock will be inbounding from the corner right now as number 1 Mason Harvey checking back into the game.
Hawks definitely can take their time, opening up such a big lead to start the second half. You don't want to rush anything. You want to use all the clock you can.
Hayes getting it back up to Grayson Zaran. Looking for that 20-point lead, maybe 21. Yes! Brendan Hayes, 9 points here in the quarter. He is El Fuego right now. 45-24 is our score, matching their largest lead of the night. Teckle floating into the lane, throws one up against the glass, misses it, but draws contact. And Hobbin Teckle will step to the line shooting 2. Max Hull's going to pick up the foul. His first, 4th team foul against the Hawks already. Looking at the schedule here coming up next week. Mountlake Terrace with a couple road games, Monday and Tuesday. They're playing. First free throw is up and good for Teckle. Just realized as I'm looking at this that it's not on here, I believe, and I don't have the location. down on the south end somewhere. They're playing Clover Park, 1:30 p.m. Well, I want to say that's down in the Kelso area, if I remember correctly, but we don't have it officially. Get that up on MLT News, I'm sure, in the next couple days, as Tuckle misses the second shot. And then the very next night, they play another league game against Shorewood, a Shorewood team that is struggling this year. Hawks back at home a week from tonight against Everett, an Everett team that's been catching a little bit of fire lately after a really rough start to their season. Shot by Peterson, missed. Hayes with a rebound, goes right back up, misses, gets his own board. I'm going to say they're going to keep it here as the foul took place away from the shot. Brendan adding to his stat sheet a little bit with some rebounds. He also draws a foul in the process as they're going to get that one on number 10, Colton Walsh. So yeah, the next broadcast we'll have next Friday night against the Seagulls, right here from the Terrace. Meadowdale, they have a home game on Tuesday against Linwood. And then next Friday, they travel up to Marysville-Getchell to take on the Chargers. Guess who? Brendan Hayes!
That was from deep downtown.
12 points in the quarter, 3 of which have come from behind the arc. Give him 17 for the game right now. 48-26 is our score. Sonko with those long arms, using that athleticism to get to the hoop.
Yeah, Brendan
can't finish, but draws the foul.
Brendan close to doubling his average point total tonight, averaging nine, close to 10 points.
He's got a new season high too. His previous season high was 15 against Cedar Crest. And that foul's going to be called on number 32, Hayes, his third. Put that into perspective. He's got 12 points in the quarter. Coming into the night, his high scoring game for the year was 15. Not bad.
Yeah, definitely.
He's Mr. Consistent too. Usually if your season high is 15, your average point total is less than 10.1, so he's always kind of in that low teen range as Sonko hits 2 free throws. Sonko did in fact hit both of those, correct? Connor Williams kicks it ahead. Max Hull, layup. Nice job from Connor Williams, distributing the basketball, finding a cutting hole. He lays it up and in. Hawks now at the half-century mark, 50-28. Mason Harvey on the other end, doing a nice job of shredding the defense and going in from the right side, making it a 50-30 game as we're now down at 2:16 remaining here in the third quarter. Connor Williams, spin move once again, the Williams to Hull show, looking for an encore performance, and this time the ball's going to be batted out of bounds, but Hull, in fact, drew contact as Colton Walsh reached in. Colton Walsh now with 4 fouls. That's a player that Meadowdale can't afford if they think they got a chance to get back in this game, and Hull's going to step to the line shooting 2. 2 for 2 from the free throw line this season, so he's going to...
It's a pretty good percentage.
Very good percentage. Let's see if he can keep that going here, and so far so good. He missed the first one. Max Hull, 7 points tonight. His season high is 8 against Tahoma, so he's almost there. Tommy Dimmick checking back in for Meadowdale, wearing that number 15 jersey. Down along the left block. Second free throw is up and in. Hull just tied his season high for the year. He's got 10 more minutes to get another point, right? So we expect him to exceed that tonight. Mason Harvey trying to make it happen again. Goes up, misses the shot. He doesn't have the height to get the rebound as Hull bats it away and gets it over to Connor Williams. Your band taking a break over there, but see them starting to kind of wander in. I guessing we're going to hear more of them in the fourth quarter. Pretty customary at high school games to use that third quarter as break time. One guy who's not taking a break, Brendan Hayes. 4 threes here in the quarter, 15 points in the third, 20 for the game. He is on fire. He continues the hot shooting. 55-30 right now. Sonko matches him on the other end. Sonko with his first tray of the night, giving him 10 for the game. We're going to take a quick break. 55-33 is our score. You're watching HBN. Welcome back to HBN. Steve Willits along with Ben Iman under the 1:20 mark here to go in the third quarter. Mountlake Terrace 25 points here in the third period, 15 of which have come from number 32, Brendan Hayes, who continues to shoot with a hot hand tonight. He's now on the bench for the time being, so apparently not going to add to that total before we get to the end of the period. We're now down under a minute to go. 10 left on the shot clock. Dribble gets away, taken by Tekel. Tekel getting it ahead to Harvey. Back to Tekel. Harvey once again, the three ball up, the three ball good. Mason Harvey with the long tray. He now has 8 points on the game. Meadowdale now on a 6-0 run, making this game a little more respectable. And hey, if you're a coach, it gives you something to build on as you head towards the fourth quarter, especially if you can get another bucket here. Already 6 straight, looking for more as they get the steal. Shot clock is off with 25 seconds to go in the third. If you are Meadowdale and you can close out this quarter with 8 or 9 points consecutively and get this down within reach, certainly that gives Roger O'Neill a lot to talk about with his team heading into the quarter, and momentum is a very, very strong thing to have on your side, certainly in a basketball game.
Momentum is definitely a fickle mistress.
Here we go. Speaking of fickle, he's not fickle about shooting that. That's number 30 through 32, Haben Tekel. He drains a three. Meadowdale with 9 straight points, getting this game to within reach. It is now 55-39 as we head to the fourth quarter. You don't want to go anywhere. We'll be right back. You are watching HBN. And welcome back once again from the Terraceum. Steve Willits, Ben Iman. Who else do we have tonight? We've got Angelo Commode directing things. Who else is helping us on the broadcast?
Sapphire Tinsley, one of the co-presidents of HBN. Carly is also here. Lee Ledford, also a co-president of HBN. I believe that's everyone here tonight.
It takes a village, right?
It takes a very large village, indeed.
Large village. We like big numbers, and speaking of big numbers, biggest band turnout of the year so far.
Correct.
Little journey going on right now, any way you want it. We'll keep playing it. I hope that's going through our microphones because it is a lot of fun to listen to. The team that's having a little bit of fun here the last couple of minutes, Meadowdale, ending the half on a high note, or ending the quarter rather. They were looking for more there. They've scored 9 straight. Tekel misses the three that would have really cut into that what was once a 25-point lead, already down to 16, and they were looking to cut that deficit even greater just now, missing the shot. Hawks scoring 25 points in that last quarter. Meadowdale with 19. It was a high-scoring affair for both teams. Notice that Brendan Hayes is back in the game now, too. They don't want to keep him out any longer. Nice job by Hull. You recognize Dimmick was coming up from behind. Grabs that ball very quickly. We're now down to 15 on the shot clock. It was not an over and back as Meadowdale was the last one to touch the basketball. Now down under 9. Hayes, baseline. He's hitting everything right now. 3s, 2s, free throws. Doesn't matter. Brendan Hayes still continues to feel it. 17 points now in the half. 22 for the game. Hawks back out on top by 18. Sonko.
Air ball.
Airs it out. And the crowd letting him know about it. Mountlake Terrace right now with Grayson Zarun bringing up the ball. Brendan Hayes jogging up. Already on the other side of the floor, you have Brendan Christensen, Max Hull, Connor Williams looking out there for Meadowdale. Haben Tekel up on top. That's Mason Harvey, Tommy Dimmick, Justin Chambers, and Mustafa Sonko. So we now are down to 6:44 to go. In the key, Hayes. He's human, he misses one. Trying to tip it up was Christensen, couldn't get that one to fall. Meadowdale grabbing the rebound, and a rarity here in the second half. He missed Brendan Hayes' shot. Nice spin move by Harvey, can't get that one to go. Kicked ahead to Connor Williams, puts a little move on Dimmick into the lane, underhand layup, left it just a little bit short. They're gonna say it was last touched by the Hawks. Meadowdale basketball.
That was a nice play on both ends. A nice spin for Meadowdale. Connor Williams recognized the space he had, quickly brought it up over the floor. Just unable to convert on the end.
More stats here to look at. Again, we were talking about this earlier. Roger O'Neill supplying us. Mountlake Terrace has the 30-18 lead in games decided by 10 points or more. So more blowouts on the Terrace's behalf than Meadowdale. They would love to make that a 31 tonight. And the way Meadowdale's trying to fight back, that may not be the case. In games decided by 9 points or fewer, Meadowdale with a 32-19 lead, as we're going to get a travel called on Keegan Grayson's run. 81 of the previous 99 games were conference games. 18 were non-conference. Meadowdale leads the series 41-40 in conference game play. When these two teams battle each other in non-conference games, it's 9-9. It's even. So Armstead checking back into the game again with 4 fouls. They finally decided to bring him back in. And again, I tip my cap to Roger O'Neill for putting all these stats together. I know he's had some help along the way, but always fun to go to their website as well to check things out. Sonko floats one up from 10 feet out. Armstead with the basketball once again, slowing things down a bit. 5:41 to go. Hawks by 18, looking for that 12th victory of the year. Connor Williams hits it! Number 12 with his first 3 of the game.
So we're going to get timeout Mountlake Terrace.
Timeout the Hawks. They want to set up their defense here. 21-point lead, 5:32 to go. Big game tonight again, the coaches versus cancer game. Money being raised for the American Cancer Society. Love to see everybody out here supporting. It's a red-out game for the Rowdy Rooters across the way, and you've already given them a shout-out earlier. The band is here, the 100th matchup between these two teams. It's Edmonds School District rivalry. They're playing in the same conference. Always a big game when these two get together.
Yeah, no. Whenever these Edmonds School District teams go up against each other, there's always some sort of hatred and fuel between the game, and I love it, man.
As a student here right now, what is it like? Is there still do you guys get just that much more amped up to come to games knowing that it's a district rival, or is it another game for you?
For me, I get amped up for any game this team plays because they're just fun to watch in general.
Sonko with a huge check there. Clean as Williams goes to the ground. Then the 3 ball's thrown up. It's an air ball once again. Christensen grabs it. Nick Buckley about to check back.
Why not?
Ooh, Brendan Hayes. We thought we were going to go crazy one more time. Doesn't miss too many threes tonight. Nice pass ahead. Sonko to Schaefer.
Nice
Schaefer
play
with the bucket. Will not having a great night so far. Only 4 points. Well, he's averaging 4.6 for the year, which kind of surprises me, quite frankly. Will, great ball player. I know that his job as a distributor and to do other things like defense. A steal there for Will. On the other end, guarded by Williams, puts one up, draws the contact. We'll head to the line for 2.
Yeah, I think I got a bit on that. I think Kyrie was being held a little bit. Tried to play through the defense, not going to get called, but it's definitely been that kind of back and forth game. Some stuff's getting called, some stuff's not getting called. I don't think there's much room to complain though, because the Hawks have had some lucky breaks themselves tonight.
And if you're the Hawks with that 19-point lead, you're feeling pretty good all around, right?
Yeah, I think.
Nayland Sood will always find things to pick at with the guys. That's his job as the coach. As Schaefer misses the first free throw, and checking back in is in fact Nick Buckley. One more free throw attempt, 4:46. Yeah, coach is always looking for something. He doesn't want the guys to have a perfect game, and you certainly don't want complacency in the middle of the season, but I'm sure at the end of the night he's liking the fact his team's up by 18.
I think when you're 12-1, you gotta, or 11-1, excuse me.
Soon to be 12. They're hoping.
If this continues out 12-1.
Nice.
I think there's a lot to be excited for, but yeah, there's always room for improvement. You can never really settle into your ways and expect the same thing every time because you're playing a different team every night in and night out.
Armstead kicks it over to the corner. Christensen dribbles inside the arch, puts up the shot and misses it. Chambers with the basketball. Behind the back, around Armstead, lays it up and in. Justin Chambers, 8 points tonight. His first 2-point field goal. He has a couple of threes to go along with it. 60-44 score. I've got a question for you here when we get our next break as Schaefer almost gets the steal. Loose ball, everybody's scrambling for it. Harvey throws it up to Tekel. Tekel 2-on-1, gets it ahead to Chambers. They kick it back to Schaefer. 3 ball, misses it. Will Schaefer knew he missed it.
Oh.
Nice job by Will to get his own rebound. Nicer job by Kyrie to stuff it and send it out of bounds. As checking back into the game is Mason Peterson. As a student here at the school right now, basketball team is 11-1. Do you start to sense that the student body is getting excited for what's going on right now? Is it? I know it changes over time. I know back in our day, I feel like nowadays there's so much more going on in terms of
Yeah.
social media and other activities. Does the student body still get excited for really good sports teams?
I think from what I see, a good 35% of the student body gets excited for good sports teams. You know, I feel like there's a lot of kids that you can go, hey, do you know what the boys basketball record is? And they'll be, no. I just think, you know, there's a large culture here that is deeply endowed in a lot of different programs. And I think, you know, a lot of kids, you know, end up, you know, not necessarily caring as much about, you know, the sports team. I think, you know, there's definitely a lot that draw kids in nowadays. And so I think, you know, there's a good amount of students that get into this stuff. And I think you see it in the student section tonight, but, you know, I think the majority of the school doesn't realize it's even happening.
It's a shame.
It is.
But again, everybody has different interests. You certainly don't want to force anything upon anyone.
Right.
And anytime you get a little buzz going for anything, it could be the journalism group, it could be anything from, you know, the band going to play at, you know, the Ellington festivals, whatever it is. It's always nice to see excitement around the school generated for different groups. And we certainly hope that everybody's getting into the season. If this, in fact, does bring them to a 12-1 record tonight. The shot is off the mark. 3:23 to go. Kicking it ahead. Christensen misses the shot, but he's going to go to the free throw line. We should point out, too, a moment ago while we were having that discussion, Colton Walsh fouled out of the game for Meadowdale. He ends his night with 3 points. He goes to the bench, and Will McKinley came in his place, number 22, as Schaefer's going to pick up this foul, his first of the game. Was a shooting foul, however, so Christensen heads to the line shooting 2.
Yeah, and I think along the lines of, you know, not necessarily getting a great buzz around the school is that there's not currently a great way that information gets out to the students. I feel, you know, with the loss of daily video announcements, I feel like that, you know, information isn't presented as well. There's intercom announcements, but I feel like majority of students tend not to pay attention to those, which is a shame. But, you know, I think without, you know, a program or something that, you know, is showing off, you know, that can help with this kind of stuff, I feel like there's not necessarily a great platform to reach students daily.
Shot by Chambers is off the mark. It's still a better platform than what they had back in, say, Vince DeMiro's day, where it was a chalkboard or
rock messages,
pigeons delivering paper messages to folks. Going to get a 30-second timeout called. Vince DeMiro ignored us on purpose on that one. He's sitting right next to us. 2:50 to go. We're going to take a quick break. 61-44 is our score. Don't go anywhere, even if the game is kind of in the, it looks like it's kind of been decided already. We're still going to decide who our player of the game is and have that interview afterwards. You're watching HBN. And welcome back once again to the Terraceum. Mountlake Terrace, Meadowdale. Under 3 minutes to go here in the game. The Hawks looking to be in control right now. 61-44. McKinley, they're going to say he traveled. Nice job by Brendan Hayes recognizing Will McKinley was about to take a three. He came flying in, made McKinley try to change his mind up in mid-flight. At that point, he couldn't get the ball out of his hands. Travel is called, and yet another turnover. Hawks taking the possession here with 2:39 to go in the ball game.
Yeah, I think, you know, one nice thing to see how this Terrace team, you're up big, but, you know, they're not taking their foot off the pedal. They're playing like this is a three-point game. Yes, maybe a little bit different of a mentality being up. You know, you want to use more clock, but they're not, you know, they're definitely going to try hard as they normally do.
Brendan Hayes making baskets tonight, also distributing, getting that one to Armstead. A little backdoor action. Armstead now with 6 points on the night. 63-44 is our score. Armstead looking for a steal. He wanted more than 6 points. He was going to go coast to coast if he got that one. Schaefer into the lane, floats one up, misses it. Ball bounces around. Schaefer with his own rebound. Kicks it out to Drew Harvey for three. No basket. Armstead picking up McKinley and Peterson. Getting a little aggressive with one another there. A quick little push off on each other. Certainly don't want to see things get too out of hand with under 2 minutes to go. Peterson, they're taking some time. You can hear a coach in the background yelling, take some time. Brendan Hayes not able to come down with that one. McKinley grabbing the rebound. 1:36 left here in the ball game. Again, after the game, we will have our post-game interview with our player of the game, Nick Buckley, getting a bucket, his 4th point of the night, 63-46. I think not a lot of drama as far as who our player of the game is, right?
No. I think it's.
Gee, who could it be?
Yeah, we're not going to give it away too soon now, but.
You score 15 points in the 3rd quarter as your team pulls away. It's kind of hard not to go with you, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, you never know.
Brendan,
yeah.
Brendan Hayes.
Okay, yeah. He's definitely a candidate.
Armstead lays it up, gets it to go. Kyrie with 5 of his 8 points here on the night coming in the 4th quarter. I believe here comes the chant. 45 seconds left. Harvey getting tied up by Keegan Grayson's run. We're going to get a foul called. We're going to call Kyrie for his 5th foul. He's going to head to the bench. 8 points for the night. More importantly, though, he gets the victory.
I'm not sure if Coach did with a little shake of the head because Kyrie fouled out because the student section started chanting that they have won 41 seconds before the game is over.
I think he's probably okay with Kyrie fouling out. He might not like what the crowd was doing more than anything.
You
can't blame him, though, right?
No, you can't.
Is there a victory song we're going to hear from the band at the end of the game?
Of course, alma mater. Every night.
Are we going to get you to sing on the air while they're playing? We're going to. It's not going to happen tonight.
I need a raise before I'm going to do that.
You're more of an instrument guy than a singer.
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying?
I can yell. That I can do.
First free throw is up, and it is in. Drew Harvey with his first point of the evening. He averages 4.9 per game. Meadowdale averaging 62.3 per game. They're going to end up, it looks like, with 48 tonight. Generally will give up 56, so they're 9 above their opponent's average tonight as the Hawks might even score more still. Hayes pulling up from 17 feet out, misses it.
He wanted that.
And Mountlake Terrace averaging 68.8 points per game, so they're a little under their average. They give up 47 points per game, so this is almost a carbon copy of what we expect to see from the Hawks based on those averages. Nice spin move by Harvey, and he's going to head to the line with 16.1 left. By the way, Dan Barholm, this is what I love about Roger O'Neill right here. Recently passed Paul Werner, who graduated in 2008, for the 35th spot all-time in scoring at Meadowdale. The fact that he can go down the list and figure out who the top 35 are is...
It's pretty nice.
It's
do we know who the top terrace scorer is? That I do not know. Do we have access to that
You stumped me. I should know that, and I don't. Al Shannon's right up there, who's on the bench. I don't think he's number 1 anymore, but he's top 3, I believe. 65-50. Keegan Grayson's run's going to dribble out the basketball. Mason Christensen comes over, gives him a handshake. Congratulations to the Hawks. They run the record to 12-1 on the year. Meadowdale 6-7 overall. Vince DeMuro, the public address announcer, announcing to the crowd that after this 100th game, Meadowdale and Mountlake Terrace are all knotted up 50 wins to 50 wins. Game number 101 is going to have to wait. It's going to happen next year. These two teams only meeting once per season now. And because Mountlake Terrace is a 2A school and Meadowdale is 3A, there's no chance for postseason action against one another anyways. So certainly these two teams can both claim to have the 50 wins now. Mountlake Terrace winning last year and this year. Coach Nayland Sood walking by. We're waiting right now for our player of the game. Again, that's going to be Brendan Hayes. Coaches versus Cancer night. We've got the Cancer shirt on, the Relay for Life hat. Brendan Hayes on fire tonight as he steps up to the microphone here. Hold up that shirt, young man. You earned it tonight. Let's see what you got there. We're going to get Ben Iman with a picture here real quick. When you come out in the third quarter, and Dad wants one too, so Dad's got to get a picture there. There we go. And hey, Dad, when you come out in the third quarter and you hit 4 3-pointers and 15 points overall, you tend to get accolades like that, and you get player of the game. Brendan Hayes, what the heck got into you at halftime? Because you came out in the third quarter and you were on fire.
I don't know. It was just kind of the ball, just going in. This happens sometimes.
I think the last time I saw you do that was at on the jam session night. You couldn't miss that night either. I think you were 6 for 6 for 3. Do you kind of get into zones? Do you recognize that, hey, there are just certain moments in games or times out on the floor where you just can't miss? Do you kind of get in that rhythm where you're feeling it?
Yeah, I usually do. I haven't much this season, and it's kind of sad, but usually I do. And once I feel it, like, I just keep launching and they go in.
So talk about the first half a little bit. Obviously, Dan Barhome not here tonight, so it helps you guys out a little bit. A little bit sluggish at times, but certainly once you guys got rolling, everything seemed to be clicking. How were you guys feeling at the half when it was 30-20?
We would have liked to have been playing a little bit more of our game, but it was still nice to be up by double digits going into the second half.
We were talking about it earlier, too. Kyrie averages 20 a game. It wasn't his highest scoring night, but I think that speaks to who you guys are as a team, and not only to Kyrie, but others as well. It seems like on any given night, if one guy's not getting the points, somebody else is able to step into that role. Is that kind of what it feels like?
Yes, totally. We have multiple scorers on our team, and that's what makes us so great. Our record's been doing and showing it throughout the season, but as you notice, and Coach Sue prides on it, he doesn't like just 1 or 2 scorers to take over the game. He likes a full team to take over the game.
I can say this with a smile now because you got the win and everything. I know Coach Sue loves defense. You guys gave up 19 in the third quarter. I would imagine even with a 16-point lead, did you guys hear about it on the bench?
Yeah, we did.
Just a little, right? Hey, talk about this team right now a little bit. 12-1 on the year. Certainly, you can't complain about that. You've only got the one loss to Shorecrest. You're climbing in the RPI rankings. I think you're ranked number 4 in the state right now in the AP poll. Are you guys feeling pretty good about where things are right now? And if anything, is there any room for improvement? And if so, what is it?
Well, there's always room for improvement.
Good
Coach
answer.
Sue will tell you that. Just got to keep playing our game. The problem is that we never want to stoop down to our opponents. We know how good we can be and how good we can pride, especially on defense. Like you're saying, 19 in the third or 16. That's not our game. We want to pride ourselves on defense first, and then the points will come after that.
We should mention they scored 19 in the third, and he almost still outscored them single-handedly with 15. Hey, looking at the schedule here, you've got Clover Park coming up on Monday, a rare non-conference game in the middle of the season. Rare in the sense that you don't see them very often, but certainly you guys know what it's like to play on MLK Day. Is that tough to focus on games like that when you know that it's a non-conference? How do you guys keep up the intensity when you go into a game like that?
We just got to, like I said, play our game and know how to play it. Because if we do that, then we can take any team, I think.
There we go. And they've taken almost everybody they've played so far. 12-1 on the year. Again, 15 points in the third quarter alone. 22 for the game. Your season high, I might add. Brendan Hayes, congratulations tonight.
Thank you.
All right, we're going to let Brendan go and celebrate this one with his teammates right now. Hawks, once again, 12-1 on the season overall. Only one loss so far in league play. Meadowdale falling to 6-7. I'm thinking you're not going to want to wear that one right now. Ben Hyman's going to come back in here. Luckily, I think we have another headset warmed up and ready to go. As
no offense to Brennan, but you
these
sweat
guys
after basketball.
Sweat a little bit after games.
Yeah, just a little bit.
So again, we just talked about it. 22 points from him tonight, 15 in the third quarter. Heck of a performance. Hey, when you get a guy shooting a hot hand like that,
Keep feeding him.
Keep feeding him, right?
Yeah, I mean, there's no reason to stop. He just kept. Third quarter was his quarter. He just kept laying it on. He was playing good defense too. Passing on the other end. He was just an all-around good player tonight, like he is every night.
And this is nothing new for the Hawks. 5 different guys hitting at least one or more three-pointers tonight. So certainly living out on that perimeter and shooting behind the arc, something they do very well, right?
Yeah, no, I mean, I think you definitely got kind of this 5-out necessarily. One guy running baseline. I think this team's built to shoot from beyond the arc. Yet the Hawks. They're a bit of a smaller team. And that's one thing. When we get to state, it's definitely a. There's not a ton of really tall guys on this team, so if you can live beyond the arc and be small, you're definitely going to find your way deep in some sort of playoff run.
We will see. So far, 12-1 on the year. Another game again. Clover Park on Monday, Shorewood on Tuesday. That's over at Shorewood High School. 7:15 start time. Next home game a week from tonight, Friday, January 15th, against the Everett Seagulls. We'd like to have you make it out to the game. If not, we will be broadcasting that game also, and usually putting these games up about a day out, right? Afterwards.
Yeah, usually.
So there you go. So for Ben Iman, for Angelo Camo, and the rest of the group, Ben, hey, great job tonight.
Thank you.
Doing color commentary, doing the band. Did you work at the concession stand at all during the timeout?
Yeah, and sweep the floors in between. Yeah.
We'll keep that informed for later on here as we get ready to wrap up. So again, Mountlake Terrace 12-1 on the season. They win tonight, 65-50. We thank you for watching. You've been watching the Hawk Broadcast Network. Have a great night. Have a great weekend.
See ya.